Umbala is designed to serve as a big community-based public art project, created through collective art festivals of sculpting and painting. But it is not just a public art project. What's left behind for the benefit of the community is an innovative playground, playable just like a board game, which is also educational, challenging, and enjoyable by all ages, from toddlers to grandparents.
Yeah! Green! Cool.
The game of Umbala is for everyone. We have designed it so parents and grandparents can fully play alongside instead of sitting on a bench watching the children play among themselves. Thinking back to our own family experience, one of the few fun activities that can bring all members of the family together is when we play a board game together. This is why we have designed Umbala to be playable just like a board game. And it is so much more than a playground. It is a beautiful opportunity for the community to participate in a spectacular public art creation. An opportunity for people to unite in vision, to ignite their inspiration and creativity, and for them to live something special and remember for the rest of their lives.
Oh my God, this is so cool!
Keep going to the core, collect the ball, and climb right up to the North Pole. Collect that ball as well.
Yes! Yes! Physical exercise!
In this video, we are not just going to show you the finished result, but we will share with you our story of creating our first Umbala. It is a story of unity and creativity, and a story we can bring to your neighborhood, school, or organization. Because together, there is nothing we cannot do.
We win! We get to sit on the lap of the grandmother and overlook all the glory that is Umbala. It's super cool. Take a look around.
And look what we've got. Cookies!
Welcome to our prototype at the Misfits Unified home base. We chose to build Umbala right under our sculpted amphitheater, El Juego de la Vida, the collective art project completed in 2019 and just a stone's throw away from the 2018 and 2017 collective art projects, which together complete our sculpture park tucked away here in the high jungle of Peru. It is in the shape of a giant caterpillar named Wendy, whose body passes through all the continents of the world, as well as through numerous fairy tale lands in one big fun game.
Umbala can be created anywhere. It can be a playground in a municipal park, it can be created in a company, a school or university campus for the enjoyment of the staff, pupils and visitors, or it can be an inner city plaza. The creation of Umbala happens in two main phases. The first is when the core team works with the commissioning entity to agree on the size, location, set the main foundations and infrastructure, and agree on a theme. From there, the Misfits Unified team will create the main infrastructure, which will effectively be a clean canvas for the second phase of the project, the community-based sculpting and painting festival. As this is just our prototype, the first phase was created by hand, step by step, first using metal rebar to create the overall shape, and then plastering with cement.
Oh, the cuties!
Hey, I'm Adam, and I'm a misfit.
I'm Simon, and I'm a misfit too.
What are you doing today, Simon and Adam?
Just observing the work going on from the lofty heights of the tower.
For future projects, prefabricated segments and assembly methods could also be employed for efficiency and to economise on labour. The project can be compliant to all different building and safety regulations, including earthquake, flood and storm resistance. Construction is fast and economical, using simple materials. No electricity or machinery is involved in its daily operation, leading to very low maintenance costs once it's operational. Our prototype is in the shape of a caterpillar, but there are unlimited possibilities. For instance, an underwater world, a sci-fi or outer space universe, or even a theme connected with the history of your town or city. Anything is possible. The second phase is when the project opens up for participation by your community in the form of a fully coordinated sculpting and painting festival.
The core group of 16 Misfits started creating Umbala in mid-July 2019. And by October, we were doing the finishing touches in anticipation for the sculpting extravaganza, our 1-month-long sculpting festival where we created the various scenes for Umbala.
Hello! Shh, you're ruining the shot, Matilda. Don't say anything. Act natural.
Pretend I'm not here. What you doing? What you doing?
What are you doing there?
I'm doing.
What are you doing?
I'm doing painting the face of Wiggly Wendy after 3 months of working and doing this crazy thing. We made it and now we're painting it! Yay!
We want everything to be perfect for the arriving participants, and while we work hard to finish, we don't forget that it's all about having fun and enjoying every moment of our creative work together.
Who are you guys? Who are you? Misfits! What's happening?
Hey, what's happening?
We're gonna start the extravaganza today. We've been waiting for this day forever. And not forever, but for a long time. And we are super excited to finally meet people that we've been corresponding with for a while. And now they're here. And in a few days we'll be super close friends. And you are Falco, I bet. Okay.
After familiarizing our new guests with Umbala and our mission to create 10 separate whole scenes in just 1 month, the first of 2 rounds of sculpting began. We divided into groups, picked a scene to create, and let our imaginations go wild.
We're in this beautiful place now, in the beginning, where we have everything wide open. So it's worth to take the time to explore lots of different ideas, because someone might just have an idea that they're like, oh, it's kind of cool. But then the next person will have something to make it pretty cool, and then someone else has an idea to make it super cool, and then boom, all of a sudden we have something amazing.
The ideas of each team were brought together in a group discussion, and all ideas were fertilized and cross-pollinated by the whole group.
It could even be kind of like peering into the egg. So as you're coming out of the egg into Africa and you go to slide, there's a giraffe looking at you.
I really like that.
Once the vision for each team was established and agreed upon, we then ran a structured course on how to create a metal mesh armature for each of the sculptures.
The bottom, we're going to make it a cut, we're going to open it up until... Very nice.
We are on day 3 of this year's 2nd annual sculpting extravaganza, and today is day 1 of meshing. How do we feel about that, Ruben?
Yeah, pretty good. We're doing all right.
We're doing all right. We got some little penguin action. How we doing here?
Penguin action, very nice.
We've got Team North and South Pole, including yours truly. Teams everywhere. Making all sorts of awesome mesh creatures to decorate our playground. Hey! Hey! Stay tuned and watch it all unfold.
As we start applying the first layer of cement to the metal armature, we start to see the creatures we imagined come to life in front of our eyes.
It looks super awesome.
And it's gonna be another one, so it's gonna be
like a couple.
2 flamingos in love.
As people connect with their inner creativity, this is the moment we also reconnect with our inner children.
Lovely music.
Shake it, mama, shake it. Shake it, mama, shake it. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Maybe you'll inspire Jacob. There you go.
Bollywood.
And through learning from each other, people are getting the hang of it, gaining confidence and enthusiasm, and the sculptures start transforming from the rough shape of the first layer of cement to finished sculptures well beyond what the people believed they were capable of.
I really love it. It's so cool to see how they come alive and how you add an eye. And I mean, I've never done something like that before, so it's amazing. I love it.
As teams start finishing their scenes in true collective spirit, they reinforce the other teams that are still yet to finish. On the last day of the first round, so caught up by the joy of creativity, people are working into the night.
Hey Matilda! Welcome to Asia!
Welcome to Asia.
We're finished!
Eager to do it all again the next day, but with the newfound sculpting skills even more ambitious than the first round. Round 2 started off like a bang. The confidence and the skills gained in the first round set the teams off like rockets, and in this round creating 3 times as many elements as the first round, adding more detail and complexity.
But I'm loving it.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's super cool. You just put some cement on the wall, you shape it how you want it, you come back to it, and you can make super beautiful things. Like, it's very easy to do.
Are you having fun, Neeru?
Yeah.
Yeah?
This is why I came to the extravaganza.
Who is that?
You tell me.
It looks like Roosevelt to me.
Is,
wow! And then Matil coming through with Lincolnator. Who did this?
I did!
Yeah!
We did!
Dragon Rider!
The Dragon Rider!
Wow.
We collective art! My teacher!
My student, she's awesome.
You're the best.
Did you ever do something like this before?
No, never.
Before we knew it, round 2 was over. Where did the month go? At the end, the result was not only the sculptures we created, but a true sense of camaraderie, oneness, and a huge sense of pride and achievement. Especially by the guests, many of whom in disbelief of what they were part of.
This is Jacob's work of art right there.
I personally did these beautiful shelves with lots of little details, lots of little things you might find. This awesome telescope, look at that. And up here is another shelf, and then we've got the big man himself, the wizard.
How do you feel about this scene?
I think it's the best thing ever. It's awesome, it's incredible.
How do you feel?
How do I feel? I feel very proud, I feel very sad that it's over. I could have just carried on making more and more and more stuff. I feel happy when I see it. I feel very happy and glad we did it.
How do you feel about him?
Emotional. So good. So good. So happy. So super proud. I saw this guy through from the bottom up, from the rebar frame, the metal mesh, the big mesh, the small mesh, the details, the first layer of cement, the second layer, just, we've been with him the whole time.
Symphony feeling, stay with me. Symphony feeling, don't slip away from me. Just woke up from a dream, can't remember a single scene, but somehow it lay open in front of me. The whole of existence symphony, residing in perfect harmony, a balance of polarity. I'm in love with reality, sweeter than any dream could be. Everything is deliciously as it should be, as it's meant to be. And only misery is that we can see the whole of this magic
Finally, a month after the extravaganza finished, enough time for us to prepare and get ready for the next phase of the project, our 5-day painting festival and mythic party begins.
We got a rival day of Mythic Party, Umbala!
Not only did the majority of people from the extravaganza return, but many artists from past events and many new friends also come. We are now 60 people. Many tours are happening at the same time. The game of Umbala is explained, and the reactions of the people when they see what we've created says everything.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
How does it feel, guys, to see Umbala after?
I'm super excited, I can't wait.
Look at that tongue.
So Umbala means color in Zulu. That's why we chose the name. But it's also a playground, which is a playable board game, like snakes and ladders. The goal of the game is to visit the 7 continents. We do have 7 continents in Umbala. And once you get the reward from every single one of them, which will be colored balls, you can climb on top of the Mayan temple and sit in the lap of the grandmother. But we're gonna go and see all that together. And when we follow here, we're gonna reach Africa.
The only good use for a fidget spinner.
What do you think, Danny?
In Africa, you have instructions.
It's blowing my mind.
This is
like, it's blowing my mind. I feel like I'm in an art gallery. That's how, yeah.
So impressed.
How does it make you feel?
Inspired. Like, I want to play. I want to play right now. I want to play. I want to go.
Amazing.
What am I looking at right now?
Oh, this one's going down the slide.
You feel like a little kid right now?
So much detail already. We're just starting, so. Wow.
I want to have this in my home because I want to walk through colorful tunnels and play and just, it's so inspiring.
The artists are finding out how big and diverse their canvas for the next 5 days is. A canvas of 7 colours that is like a labyrinth twisting on itself, creating seemingly endless trajectories to explore.
¿Qué piensa?
Brutal. Está excelente. Me gusta mucho el dragón.
Baby buffaloes.
Aww.
I want to paint that guy.
For me, I'm just super inspired. Like, I'm so super inspired. I can see this and I feel like I can do this because I'm thinking that I can do a similar thing in Sierra Leone. I've got the land already.
We gathered in the amphitheatre and started getting to know each other, joining our visions and helping everybody to understand the concepts of Umbala and collective art.
And collective art.
Y arte colectivo.
When everybody can come in and learn.
Donde todos
Contribute.
pueden venir a participar y contribuir.
So we thought of Umbala.
Entonces pensemos en Umbala.
We use equations easy enough for children to solve.
Usamos ecuaciones que son fáciles para que niños las puedan resolver.
We use athletic endeavors or skill endeavors, like throwing balls or climbing up things and so on.
Usamos desafíos físicos o de agilidad o de, por ejemplo, lanzar una bola en un hueco especial para tener una respuesta.
We have educational, for example, here we have the animals of every continent.
Puede ser temas educacionales, por ejemplo, aquí tenemos educativos, por ejemplo, aquí tenemos los continentes y en cada uno se encuentran los animales de estos espacios.
And it can be done anywhere by anybody.
We talked about the experience of the people who participated in the recent extravaganza, about the techniques of collaborating and working together, free of any conflict, how to make sure that every single person's ideas were heard and implemented in a way that left every single person proud and happy with the final result. Because collective art is all about focusing on areas in which we all agree and drawing inspiration from there, rather than on areas where we disagree.
The next day, 60 people descend on Umbala in a delicious cacophony and joyful chaos. Some discuss their visions and try to coordinate, often in multiple languages, including sign language. Others just jump in and start painting. There are people everywhere. Within just a few hours, things start appearing on the walls, disjointed at first. The fastest on the wall create a style that others begin to instinctively coordinate with. Exuberant madness is everywhere. Every day the artists build on the previous day's work, and by the third day, magical worlds start coming together. Our bodies covered in multicolored paint, feeling like children again, remembering the joys of creativity.
Why are you doing a cake?
Doing the cake because this is an area all to do with sweetness, and the cake is one of the most beautiful sweets there is. I think first of all we're learning as a human species that we can work together to always produce fabulous work, but most importantly produce fabulous work and be happy for the pursuit of happiness. That is important.
In true collective spirit, we come together to celebrate the diversity of our cultural backgrounds. We were honored by one of our guests, Yusuf, for sharing his passion for his culture through the art of storytelling and dance. Everybody was swept away, dancing for hours and hours with seemingly endless energy. All of our events are substance-free, and the participants couldn't have imagined having so much fun in a festival free of drugs and alcohol.
This is very much a celebration of love.
Pero esto ahora es verdaderamente una celebración de amor.
Yeah, and I thank you to so especially for inviting me here, providing all the opportunity for me to come here and be with you. It is the best time in our lives. Quick match, get ready.
Finishing up, doing details, even starting last-minute paintings, the last few hours pass in a whirlwind of creativity. Nobody wanting to let go.
Me and Tom are trying to finish Europe in a couple of hours, and we're gonna do it.
In this world of fairy tales we have created, this is a seemingly endless gallery of heartfelt art. Our imaginations captured by images of our childhood.
Just like the blink of an eye, the 5 days was drawing to an end.
It's your brother!
On the evening of the final day, we come together for our last dinner. A spectacular feast to not only celebrate finishing this monumental painting festival, but the oneness and the unity we felt working together for the past 5 days. We celebrated in our collectively hand-sculpted and painted amphitheatre, last year's collective art project. We danced around our sculpted World War II Jeep fire pit, and everybody was invited to give us a performance. Many did.
What is right?
our last moments together, we reunite and explore the wonders of Umbala. We've been so caught up with the painting over the past 5 days, we now started seeing all of the nuances and the details with fresh eyes.
What do you think of Umbala, Bunny?
It's magical, really. I feel like it's a child, and I feel a lot of power also that we can create this together. Enjoy all the colors. Yes.
With Umbala, the community is not just left with a playground, but they will have experienced a unique summer festival of creativity and oneness, just like what you have witnessed in this video. And all of this is available to your community at a similar cost to a regular playground of a similar size. All of our events at our home base in Peru are free because this is our contribution to the movement of collective art. If you are interested to fund an Umbala in your area, whether it be part of a public art initiative or a community-focused project, our core group of Misfits are ready to unify ourselves with all of you Misfits out there to create another Umbala project.